Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be drawing Yoda. So let's get out our crayons and markers and colored pencils and get ready to draw. We're going to start with his head, and we're going to keep to the lower part of this paper. We don't want to start up here because it'll make his body long. So we want him to be kind of short. So we're going to keep his head low to the bottom part of the paper. So go ahead and start with a circle, which of course is going to be his head. Now he doesn't have normal ears. His big ears are one of his distinctive features. So we're gonna do a curve going off this side and a curve going off this side. And then we're gonna curve back, down, and do the same thing on the other side. Now we're gonna give it the appearance that there's kind of an inner part and an outer part. So we're just going to draw a line, curved line like this, and that completes his ears. Now next we're going to draw two circles, and these circles are going to be his eyes. So one here and one here. And we're going to come back to the eyes in just a minute and go ahead and do the nose. There's going to be a line in between, and then a curl at each end, and then a U shape joining those. So there's his little nose, and then his mouth, and he's kind of old, so we're gonna give him the appearance of having some kind of wrinkly lips, like that on the top, and then do the same thing on the bottom. All right, and let's do his eyelids. 1, 2, and then go ahead and do a circle, and then we're going to do a bottom lid. And like I said, he's older, so he's got some wrinkles. So do one here, and then do another one here. Okay, and we're going to give him a couple little sprouts of hair coming off. 1, 2. And you can do that on his ears as well. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, for his neck, we're going to do a V shape like this. And then we're going to do straight down, and then give the appearance that he's kind of hunched. We're going to do a rounded curved line like that. And now we're ready to color. There's our Yoda. Now you're going to want to use green, 2 different shades, a lighter and a darker. So for the darker, we're going to do the tops of the ears. Remember to be extra careful working in these smaller spaces. And we're also going to do his nose with the darker color green. And the lids, both the top and bottom lids, are going to be the darker green. If you don't have 2 shades of green, maybe you only have 1 color green, then you can press hard to make it dark and then press lightly to make a light, and that will still give you a little bit of variation in your color. Working in these tiny spaces, make sure you get all that white space and fill it in with green. Okay, now we're done with the green and we're ready to move on to the lighter green. And that's going to be the rest of his skin. So the insides of the ears, remember to flood the white space with color and make sure that you're doing a nice job that you can be proud of, taking your time. If your light green blends over into the dark green, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to show up. And be careful when you're coloring, you want to leave this part of the eye white. So be careful not to color over that. But if you color over like the nose, like I just did here, it's okay because the two shades of green are just going to blend together. Same thing with the eyelids. Just be careful not to color the white part of the eye. Oh, this little part right here, this little V shape is also skin. So you can color down in there. It's like he's wearing a V-neck shirt. Careful when you come to the edges that you don't run over the edge. You don't want your work to look sloppy or messy. And almost finished. I'm always extra careful when I come to the edges so that I don't run over. Okay, and now we're going to use 2 shades of brown to do his coat and the little outfit he's wearing underneath. So any 2 shades of brown, a light and a dark, is great. I'm just going to use this color here for the inside. Yours doesn't have to match mine exactly, but something, a light and dark brown is going to be the closest match to what he would really wear, at least from the movies that I've seen. I used to have almost every single Star Wars action figure when I was a kid. The first movie of Star Wars came out the year I was born, 1977. And as a kid growing up, I loved watching these movies. Return of the Jedi was my favorite one because it had Ewoks in it, and I thought the Ewoks were cool, and then Jabba the Hutt. And see, this is a little bit darker than that other color, so it just kind of gives a little bit of contrast. Remember, you can use any shades of brown, and if you only have one brown, again, you can make 2 shades of brown by pressing dark and then pressing light, and that will still give it a little bit of contrast to make it appear like it's 2 different colors. I do that a lot of times with black, and if I want to make gray, I just color with the black, but pressing really lightly. You can usually make things work with what you have. Okay, this side of his little cape is done. I'm gonna do this, or I said cape, maybe it's a little cloak, a little coat. Remember, when you get to the edges, you always want to be really extra careful so that you don't take your color into another color or go out into that white space that's not supposed to be colored. Now here, if you wanted to, you could always add a background if you wanted. Maybe the swamp where he was living, or maybe just a black background with stars. That could be cool. I'm gonna leave mine blank because I just like the way this looks like. It's like he got a portrait done. All right, and if you want to go down and get closer to the edge here and here, and there you go. Remember that Star Wars Day is May the 4th, and that's why we say May the 4th be with you, instead of may the force be with you. I hope that you enjoyed drawing with me today, and can't wait to see your pictures. You can email them to me if you go to my school, or you can post them in our Google Classroom for the library. And if you do not go to my school and you're a student who are watching this from another school, you could always share your pictures with your teacher or your school librarian too. I hope that you enjoyed it, and may the 4th be with you.